Welcome to the Precision Study channel. Today's topic is all important article of Indian Constitution and how to remember that article I have explained here. Please watch the session completely. Subscribe the channel. Let's start. For an article, a single word is present. You have to remember that word and that article. Like Article 1, name. Article 2, establishment of new states. Article 3, formation of existing state. Article 5, citizenship. Article 8, which are reside outside of India. Article 9, foreign state not to be citizens. Article 10, continuance or continuity of the citizenship. Article 11, parliament law, which are citizenship. Article 12, definition of state. Article 13, laws inconsistent, fundamental right. Here Article 12 to 30 represent fundamental right. Next article. Article 14, equality before law. Article 15, discrimination. Which grounds? Only 5 grounds which have to be remembered. Religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 16, equality of opportunity, public employment. Article 17, untouchability. Article 18, titles. Article 19, freedom of speech. There are 6 parts in the freedom of speech. One part is omitted. 19A, speech and expression. 19B, peaceful and without arms. 19C, association or unions. 19D, move freely. 19E, reside and settle. 19G, practice any profession. Article 20, protection offences. Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. Article 21A, elementary education. Article 22, arrest and detention. Article 23, traffic in human beings and forced labor. Article 24, prohibition of employment of children. Article 25, conscience and free profession. Article 26, religious affairs. Article 27, pay taxes. Article 28, religious instruction, cultural and educational right. Article 29, interest of minorities. Article 30, establish and administer educational institution. This is the most important article which is highlighted in red color. Right to constitutional remedies. Article 32. Article 32, remedies. Article 36, definition of state. Article 37, application of DPSP. Article 39A, justice. Article 40, village panchayat. Article 41, work to education to public assistance. Article 43, living wages. Article 43A, workers industries. Article 44, uniform civil code. Article 45, free and compulsory education. Article 46, educational and economic interest, SC, ST, OBC. Article 47, nutrition and the standard of living. Article 48, agriculture and animal husbandry. Article 49, monuments and natural importance. Article 50, separation of judiciary from the executive. Article 51, international peace and security. Article 52, president. 53, executive. 54, election of president. 61, impeachment of the president. 63, vice president. 64, ex officio chairman. 66, election of vice president. First comes president, then vice president. 72, pardoning powers of president. 74, council of ministers to aid and advise president. 76, attorney general. 79, constitution of parliament. 80, composition of Rajya Sabha. 81, composition of Lok Sabha. 83. Duration of Parliament. 93. Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Article 105. Powers and privileges. Article 109. Special procedure money bills. Article 110. Definition of money bills. This is important article. Article 112. Annual financial budget. This is also important. Article 114. Appropriation bill. Article 123. Ordinances. This is also important. Article 124. Supreme Court. Article 125. Salaries. Article 126. Acting Chief Justice. Article 127. Ad hoc judges. Article 128. Retired judge. Article 129. Court of record. Article 130. Seat of the Supreme Court. Article 136. Special leave. Article 137. Review of judgment or orders. Article 141. Decision of the Supreme Court of India binding on all the courts. Article 148. This is most important. CAC of India. Article 149. Duties and powers of CAC. Article 153. Governors. Article 154. Executive powers of governors. Article 161. Pardoning powers of the governor. Article 165. Advocate General. Article 213. Ordinances for the governor. Power of governor. Article 214. High courts. 215. Court of record. 226. Certain writs. Most important. Article 233. District judge. Article 235. Subordinate courts. Article 243A. Gram Sabha. 243B. Panchayat. 266. Consolidated Fund and Public Accounts Fund. 267. Contingency Fund of India. Article 280. Finance Commission. 300A. Property, which has deleted in Article 19F. Article 301. Trade, Commerce and Intercourse. Article 302. Impose restriction on Article 301. Article 312. All India Services. Article 315. Public Service Commission. Article 320. Function. Article 323A. Administrative Tribunals. Article 324. Election Commission. Article 325. Electoral roll. Grounds for grounds religion, race, caste or sex. Article 326. Election. Adult suffrage. Article 338. National Commission for the SC ST. 338A. 343. Official language of the Union. 345. Official language of or language of a state. 348. High Courts language or Supreme Court language. Article 351. Hindi language. 352. National emergency. 356. President rule. Financial emergency. 366. Protection of President and Governor. 361. Amendment of the Constitution. 368. or Jammu Kashmir. 370. I have completed this session only in 9 minutes. Thank you.